So Jack, most of our members are pretty familiar with standard budget building. But when I looked at the way that you look at financial planning, it's much more than just putting together a budget for the year. Tell me about how you do it and what the importance of that is for SRC.
Well, if you follow the steps of the high involvement planning, you get the forecast. You then go to the business owners, and then they put all their needs, their tools in terms of an income statement, a balance sheet, and a cash flow statement. And what they then do is they submit it to corporate, to myself. Okay, this is the process now where the information has come in. They've now disseminated the information. They've costed and expensed out everything they need in order to be able to run for 12 months or for 5 years. And now they've sent it up to corporate, all right? In the old days, when I was working for a Fortune 500 company, I had very limited access to a budget. I had indirect material, which consisted of perishable tools and toilet paper, all right? And every time I would send my budget up, they would send it back cut 15%. And this was historical. And it got to be comical. You'd sit there and go, if they knew what they wanted when they asked me, why didn't they just ask me for the 15%? You know, why do I have to go through this ridiculous exercise? But it was a total disempowerment. I mean, it was just disempowerment. And I wanted to make certain that when they put their financial plans together, that they would not be disempowered, that we would figure out how to accept these things. But we really couldn't be stupid either, okay? If we saw that there was a problem, okay, we would then, we had to design a system by which we would then become involved, okay, cross over and start attacking their plan, okay, but it wouldn't be attack. I didn't want it to be attack. So what I began to realize is I was getting this competitive data, and it's the same competitive data that if you're going to go buy a stock, let's say you go to Merrill Lynch and you want to buy PACCAR, which is a big trucking company, they'll tell you PACCAR's financial ratios, they'll tell you the industry financial ratios, all right? They'll tell you the ratios relative efficiency, which is an income statement on how well you're using money. They'll tell you the solvency in terms of how much cash you have available. And they'll tell you where your cash is at relative to the balance sheet. They'll give you all those ratios, all right? You get them free, right? So what I would do is my sales and marketing people would already have those ratios. I would then take the ratios of the business and I would compare them to the marketplace. And I did not have to get down into how many people they have, what the benefits were. I didn't have to be judge and jury and God, you know, which so many CEOs think that, you know, they're the master of the universe and they're the master of the plans, okay? I mean, it was really kind of simple. All I had to do was take what the stories that they had evolved into the numbers that they put into the ratios and then compare the ratios to the competition. You know, in some cases, like we would have a lady that was running one business and she had a 4.4 turn last year. She's going to a 5.9. That's awesome. Percentage-wise, it's a great turn. But when I looked at the industry, there was somebody turning 20 times. Well, I called her up. I said, Candy, you know, let me just tell you this, is the person that's turning 20 times is generating a lot of cash, and whoever generates the most cash wins. And I said, we have a serious problem here at 5.9. If someone in your industry is turning 20, okay, they're going to win overall. So Candy and I get together, and we then find the critical number, right? See it all connecting? And then we say to Candy, said, okay, now let's set a bonus program up, not from the 5.9 that you say you can do. Let's go from the rate of improvement of 4.4 to the point of 20, and let's have a percentage that goes into the bonus pool for every time they can go and they can get a point percentage improvement on turns, right? So we set our bonus program, 4.4, you get nothing. 20, you can get 15%. All right, we'll put 15% of your entire salary in a pool, all right? Teach everybody inventory turns. Nobody can say that we're giving them an unrealistic goal because why? We got the competitive data there, right? Somebody's doing it, so we should be able to do it. So then what we'll do is we'll put that critical number together. I then have not disempowered her one iota. I've totally accepted her plans. I've totally trusted them. It's totally their numbers. All what I'm making certain is that we're focused on the critical number that will provide us security over the long period of time, because I've seen so many CEOs know what their critical number is but don't have the courage to address them because you get locked. Sometimes you get locked up. A lot of guys can get locked up in profits and miss the whole point of, boy, we better put something in research and development. We better not be milking this cow too long, because if we don't put something back in terms of fixed assets, or we don't address these other weaknesses, eventually it's going to get you.